Hi there, my name's Andrew Merry. I'm a PhD student at the Stockholm Resilience Centre, and recently I had the opportunity to manage the social media streams, particularly Twitter, at the Resilience 2014 conference in France. And today I'd like to share some sort of insights and show you what did this online conversation at Resilience 2014 look like. So starting off with some numbers. You can see here, one of the most important numbers is this 350,000 odd number. Now what this is you can see we have around 318 contributors. They tweeted nearly 2,000 tweets. And when you take the number of tweets and contributors and multiply that by the number of followers, you get this reach of 350 odd thousand. So this is the direct kind of like conversational impact of Twitter of this conference. This larger number of around 3 million, this represents the sort of digital echo. So this is when you go all the way out, this is the number of timelines that tweets about the conference ended up on. Another important number here is you'll notice over 50% of the tweets that were sent were original tweets. And this matters because this really shows that there's a lot of engagement in the digital conversation. People are bringing up issues, people are having discussions between themselves, reflecting on what they're learning, rather than sort of just retweeting what a few people are saying. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to @ReadyRants and @RebeccaJarvis, who are the top two tweeters and made a huge contribution during the conference. Now, what were some of the resonating issues that came up? Well, one of these here I want to read out is, I'm afraid of resilience being captured by the powerful to become more powerful. Now clearly, resilience has quite a strong policy resonance, and taking responsibility in science and dealing with the way that this kind of these issues are taken up is something that resonated with a lot of people. Another thing was that during the plenary kind of debate, this generated a lot of discussion on Twitter, and people were thinking, well, you know, reflecting on this idea of the safe and just space for humanity. And finally, there was a really great call to action during the PhD masterclass, which was start with good practice, speak openly about power, be revolutionary, and keep your mind free. Some of this. Resilience metrics is the new black. Resilience is trying to be operationalized. We're trying to engage more with policymakers and with practitioners. But how do you actually do that? How do you evaluate that numerically? This was a big issue that came up during the conference. Another one was, do you need people who specialize and who connect the dots across disciplines? So within resilience, we need a big tent approach to ensure that people with multiple sets of skills are able to contribute. And finally, I mean, I just wanted to point out this, that, you know, this wasn't just important for people in the room. Professor Elena Bennett, who unfortunately couldn't be there, you know, along with a number of others, made it really clear that they appreciated this sort of really active conversation on Twitter to be able to share that with a wider community. And what were some critiques? I mean, most of them here relate to representation. There was an issue of gender balance. There was an issue of making sure that people from different socioeconomic backgrounds and different countries around the world could be part of the conversation, and also that practitioners and policymakers were well represented. So that was sort of the core substance of the critique and something we need to focus on more. And finally, why did almost no one actually define resilience before they started speaking? Diversity is good, obscurity is not. So trying to find diversity, but also a common understanding of the concepts we're using is again something that remains a challenge. So thank you, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to share a few short insights from Twitter at Resilience 2014. If you're not on Twitter, get on it. I hope I've demonstrated that it can be a very useful tool. Thank you.